my god, you said the game's dead, people still playing it! First of all, I want to make it very clear that when I have said in the past that Dragon Ball FighterZ is dead, that doesn't necessarily make it a bad thing, nor am I pulling a dark side Phil and saying that just because a game is dead that nobody's playing it or that no one's talking about it. That is clearly bullshit. People really take this word dead seriously for games, and I personally have to kind of wonder why the hell you get mad at me of all things when I'm not even saying that it's a bad thing that games are dead or whatever. Like, first of all, this game getting an extra character, I don't think anyone was really expecting it. I personally thought that after the Season 3 update that it would be it, but the reason why I came to that conclusion is because not only is there the Switch version, which has exclusive content, like the Paraplay mode, which is essentially Mortal Kombat 9's version of it, where you can't tag it unless the person playing actually chooses to, and of course the even easier mode that makes the game even more ridiculous. And even if you pre-ordered the game, you would get a special version of some Dragon Ball fighting game on the Super Famicom. I can't say I'm ecstatic that with not being able to buy this thing, but considering it's not even one of the better Dragon Ball fighting games out there, I can't really get too mad about it anymore. And plus, I can just emulate it, so who fucking cares? You have Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 doing this exact same thing with not only the delisted Unlock Everything DLC. Seriously, why the fuck? Who the fuck thought this was a good idea? And not to mention the Xenoverse 1 story mode that is exclusive to the Switch version. And no, modding it on PC doesn't fucking make it not exclusive. You're just taking data from a version that was already on the Switch and migrating it to the PC version. If you really want to make it available to everyone, just let everyone play the fucking story that's arguably better. Or whatever. It's fucking dumb. But the main reason why I came to this conclusion that the game was dead is because after Season 3, and I believe it was around 2 years, I think, when this character was suddenly dropped, it's like, okay, the game's had a good course, we can move on. I'm not saying that people aren't playing, because obviously there is an appeal to playing a Marvel vs. Capcom inspired fighting game, albeit more simply, but it's still damn good fun, and for quite a while I was really digging it. I was really happy that Arc System Works is finally getting the recognition, especially on Game Informer. Not to say the game's perfect though, because it definitely has issues. The story mode being kinda shit, having to go for the game 3 times, and of course the unlockable hard mode. There could have been quality of life changes to make the game even better so that people who don't like to play online 24/7, especially the servers aren't working, people can enjoy it. That's why I said the game was dead. And no, I don't factor online play as far as it's concerned. I guess it's technically true but misleading when people still play the game, but if online play is the only thing that's driving a game but the offline content is pretty sparse, you're essentially paying full price anyway for a game that might as well be fucking online only. And you know how I feel about those games. But the main reason why I'm not only concerned but also disappointed with Android 21 lab coat being added into the game, which is the reason why I'm making this rant, or rather remaking this rant, is because this is the only thing that's been announced. Even if there's supposed to be some gameplay coming out soon as of this re-recording, what else is the game going to offer? Is it going to offer a new season pass? Is it going to offer even more season passes? Is it going to add in some quality of life changes? Is it going to add the Switch exclusive content onto the other versions? That'd be great. I don't even have the Xbox or PlayStation 4 versions because there's no point. I bought it on Steam because why not? And the Switch version I only bought because, even though that did come later, there was a reason to buy it again, even if it had a shitty Paraplay mode, which honestly more fighting games should incorporate. Even freaking SNK Tag Team Heroines had that shit, and I fucking hate that game. Cross Tag Battle probably would have benefited that after the game's final update, but I guess that game is now even deader than this game, which is honestly sad. But this game only getting one character after 2 years, and it's already a fucking character who's already in the game as far as assets are concerned. They're just taking a version of the characters in story mode, repurposing her to be a fucking playable character. Yeah, I know they're gonna probably give her some new moves and shit, but it's like, you already have the character in the game. Is there any fucking reason we have to wait 2 fucking years just to have one extra character who was already made just for this game, but then also added into Xenoverse 2. And before you say it, even though she was made for this game, at least when they added her into Xenoverse 2, they had to make a whole new model for this character, so I don't want to hear it. This situation really reminds me of another game that went through a similar phase, Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. I know a lot of people, including my friend, who don't like this game, but I'm going to have to say it because I am a very loud-mouthed son of a bitch who can't keep his mouth shut when things just don't go my way or when bullshit is in the air. That game had this pre-order bonus of which can get characters, I believe, from, was it Boruto or some shit? I don't know. I haven't watched it. I don't fucking care. I don't even like Naruto anyway. I think it's fucking overrated as shit. At least they're actually acting like ninjas now, but whatever. That's not even the point. So there is these pre-order characters, and then the game came with a season pass, so get you extra characters, yada yada yada. The game's content at least keeps it living, I guess, for those who don't like playing online. Let's be honest, the game's online is fucking broken. I try to play Revolution online, people end up using the most spammy projectile characters ever. Doesn't help that the instant kill, which I guess isn't really an instant kill, it's just a super technique finish that activates a kill sequence, whatever. I kind of got pissed off and I never played that shit again. Kind of like with Halo Wars. Great games I enjoy playing offline, an absolute bitch to play online unless you use the most meta bitches characters ever made, or just using stupid ass strategies that can only be used if you know how to make it work. Then there was a big expansion that was supposed to be based on the Boruto movie, but people got really pissed off when this expansion was not part of the season pass. So when did I get this game, you might ask? I got it when there was the complete edition, which when I got it on PS4 originally, I even think I bought it day one, before the end of the world in case you're wondering. It actually came with all the DLC on disc, which I also want to add an addendum to this little rant. Apparently Jump Force has been delisted, and unfortunately there is no way to get the DLC characters now, because the fucking asshats who made the game couldn't even bother re-releasing the game again on all fucking versions, physical, especially released worldwide, not just for fucking limited runs or some shit, and just make the game available for people who, for whatever reason, want to play this fucking game long after the game's life cycle has ended. So yeah, Jump Force is dead. It is literally dead. You cannot get the DLC characters anymore. You can't get the fucking pre-order bonus anymore. It's fucking terrible. But then another thing happens with this expansion. You actually have characters who are complete, and not just characters in a NetherRealm fighting game where they have characters deliberately taken from the last game or whatever, just incomplete per se. Kind of like those older fighting games where they did do that very same thing, but they weren't intended to be like fully playable. No, I'm talking about like characters like Baraka, Rain, Tanya. Well, I guess she was repurposed to be a fucking DLC character, but when you play the story mode now, you're still playing as that version. And yes, I know Mortal Kombat Deception did that too, but let's be honest, at least Unchained, there was a good reason to play the best Mortal Kombat game on the go. And it didn't fucking remove content or whatever. But with Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, Road to Boruto having these DLC characters that were actually released later, they were technically already in the game first, and even after the Road to Boruto expansion, the game was pretty much done. You know, no one didn't really think there's going to be any more content added to the game, even though there are mods, at least on PC, that do enable these unplayable versions of these characters, despite being nearly damn complete, being playable as part of the roster. But then CyberConnect 2 pulls this shit, where they add in these two characters from the fucking damn expansion that wasn't even part of the season pass. No, that wasn't bad enough. You are not only making people double dip on a fucking expansion that should have been part of the season pass, you are now double dipping on characters that are already in the fucking game, as in they're perfectly playable, just not given to you for reasons unknown. And you have the balls to charge money, even if admittedly a low price, but even if you have the complete edition, which I have on Switch, it's fucking stupid, and I have a very bad feeling that this is going to happen to Dragon Ball FighterZ fans who bought all 3 season passes, bought the Ultimate Edition, or whatever the fuck. It is honestly fucking stupid. This is why I say that that game is dead. Even if the people who play it online, yeah, that's great for them, but I don't care about playing fighting games online. I have no interest in learning. I myself like playing these fighting games, or at least the ones that give reasons to play offline. It's just fucking stupid. I'm so sick of these fighting games always focusing on the online, but then even that's not good enough because my rollback, dude. Seriously, check out my bike in Rant if you haven't seen it. It's pretty great. But it's just like, I'll admit that FighterZ at least has some decent content for a fighting game, especially made by Arc System Works before they went to shit. Yeah, the story mode is kind of lame because essentially the same thing as Budokai 2, except this one's better, I guess, even though they're both technically the exact same thing, but whatever. And not to mention, there's no easy way of getting the yearly timed exclusive colors for each of the characters. And yeah, there were a couple updates here and there. Yeah, they have the the boss fights, I guess, where you play as we can do three players against one really hard computer controlled opponent, but that is an online only thing. Why can't there be a mode like that for offline play? It's so fucking stupid. It's just like with Tekken 7 with its tournament mode. Can you imagine how much more reason there'd be to play the game if you were to actually do a tournament mode akin to Soul Calibur 3 and shit? Seriously, that mode was fucking great. Yeah, the pay in there wasn't great, but the fact you get to participate in the closest thing you could actually get to actually watching a fucking tournament, or even playing it if you don't want to spectate or whatever, you know, either add in like regular characters or add in the custom characters or whatever they're in the game already. It's just fucking stupid. I am still pissed off to this day for that. And yet, with Fighters or FighterZ, whatever, it's like they're gonna probably pull the same shit 2 years after the game had that final expansion or whatever. Yeah, I don't think it ended on a good note, but you know, at least it had a good run or whatever. If they don't add anything else besides this character, then yeah, the game's gonna fucking die. Seriously, I can't believe people who don't even like this game try to argue with me that I say the game is dead. I'm saying the game is dead because this game has been around for a while, and they barely fixed shit that should have been fixed since the first season or whatever, or even before the second, or even before the third. I don't give a shit about online play. It is not a factor for when I do disquisitions or reviews of other shit, because that is completely supplementary, just like mods. Well, at least you can use mods offline, but even so, not everyone's gonna have fucking mods unless it's a fucking Bethesda game, or whatever the fuck is popular for kids these days. But through and through, I really hope that this damn expansion, if you even want to call it that, will at least add something else that isn't just one character who's already part of the game. And if people still want to argue with me with that, then well,
kiss my ass!